I'm welcoming you to this meeting. In this meeting, we're going to cover some major components of the reports I've been working on. So there are the key terms and concepts, of which includes the international trade, and among them there are exchange rates, trade barriers, and imports or exports. So these are the things that affect the global business and international trade. In this video, I'm going to explain how and what risks and benefits they may pose to Acme Widget. Firstly, let me start by explaining what are the exchange rates. An exchange rate is the price of a nation's currency in terms of another currency. So thus an exchange rate has two components, the domestic currency and a foreign currency. These are according to Investopedia of 2018. So a simple example of an exchange rate from one currency to another will be $1 being exchanged or being equal to 1,069.99 South Korean won. These are the currencies from the South Korea. So on the level of the business owners, owners are able to earn much interest when their country currency is in exchange rate or the exchange rate of one country is higher than the exchange rate of the other country they're working in. So in other words, the exchange rate impacts the real return on investment of one business or investor's portfolio. This is according to Bergen 2018. And on the global level, the higher a currency is, makes the country's exports more expensive and imports cheaper in the foreign currency. So this is also the same when the global currency is lower in the global when a currency is lower, it makes the country's exports less cheaper and the imports more expensive. So in some countries, Acme when working in some countries, Acme might benefit from doing their businesses as the US dollar is exchanged at higher rate. For instance, in India, in some African countries. But then think of Acme working in UK. $1 is exchanged to is exchanged less in pounds. So this might be very difficult to earn interest on the company's level as the pounds are higher than the US dollars. But that is different to in France as the $1 is worth 5.33 French francs. It is lower, but it's not, which means it's less worthy, but it's not the same as in UK. This means that Acme may benefit from working in France, but then the currency is exchanged at lower francs. So to continue, we have trade barriers. So trade barriers are restrictions imposed by a government on free international exchange of goods or services. These are classified as import licensing, customs practices. So testing, labeling, subsidies for local exports, and so forth. So these are examples of restrictions that are imposed. And these examples were retrieved from Web Finance 2018. So normally international trade increases the number of goods that domestic consumers and industries can buy or ship from abroad. So one example of an international trade barrier is a tariff. Tariffs are created by the government and they are created to protect domestic businesses. For instance, a country may decide to increase tariffs for shipping products so that local industries may work and sell their products. So as Acme will be working as an international, but then a domestic company in a country it will be working on, it will be a benefit from them and occasions for them to, since the country will not be imposing tariffs on imported products. So thus, instead of ordering many products from the US, ACMA will be producing them so as to avoid all these high tariffs and then all the processes of getting the documents for paying them in other many process that may cause them spending much time or money getting them. So this is actually the same to the global business, as it affects how tariffs it affects businesses according to how tariffs are different in different countries and are imposed on exports and imports of goods and services. This may lower income of how the country is gaining it or on the business level, or cause them to spend much money or expenses, in other words. So to finish up, we have imports and exports as one other concept of international trade. So imports refer to products and goods brought in foreign countries to be purchased or by residents of another country. So these consumers include businesses, citizens, and the government as whole. This has been retrieved from Amadeo 2017. On the other hand, exports are another way around. So this means that exports are products manufactured in a certain country and be sold in foreign country. For instance, Rwanda export coffee and import medicaments. So imports and exports are components of global market. They impact the economy of many countries in different ways, and they allow the exchange of goods and services in larger quantities. As imports and exports increase the life standards of countries, they contribute to the increase in development of the economy of those countries. So ACMA will be able to ship products from the US and sell them in the countries they will be working in. So these might be a work for them to be involving in knowing all the processes that that demand countries working in other countries, knowing how the restrictions or how the process of earning or getting the imports and exports are processed, or the procedures related to them. So there are no country which restrict importing and exporting products. So this will be an importance and an occasion for ACME work in different countries. Thanks for following. That is what I had by explaining the international trade and how they affect the global economy as ACME as well. Thank you very much.